Hi, I'm Sydney, and I am a servant of the Almighty God. In this episode of my podcast, I want to speak about the changes that we can initiate. Now, before I get into that, let me talk about my posters a little bit. Here is a poster of my latest book, Humanity's Inflection Point, which contains most of the stuff I speak about in these podcasts, along with a lot more. And these are the additional tenets that have been given to me in my inspiration that kind of guides me along with the commandments. So I'm not too concerned with the stories about individuals that lived 2,000 years ago. I'm concerned with the commandments and these tenets that our science reveal God's methods. The key to meeting God's expectation of us is self-control, and diversity is His. As servants, we must honor His diversity. So in this episode, I want to speak about, again, the changes that we can initiate. And it's big. It's big, and we have to understand that the changes we initiate, 2023 is the year, right? The kickoff, really. And it's not just about me. I feel honored to be His servant, to get these inspirations, but I know that there will be many who will come after me, who will be so much more enlightened, who will see so much more and will take this so much further, because this is, in a sense, changing the direction of our entire civilization. Yes, it's that big. It's, like I said, it's the most globally scalable revolution that's come down in, a couple thousand years. So things have been going along, and initially it was all about religion, because something about us, our Creator inspired religions through the scriptures. Unfortunately, we took it, and when it came to a certain group, they became the special group. And so they made it about them. So the religion is about this group first. Look at it, you'll see it's about this group, not realizing that it was about all of us. The commandments are about all of us. And so what we are initiating in 2023 is challenging all of that. Not to replace it, but corrections, adjustments. So on the one hand, we have religions that all seem to be dedicated to the Supreme Being, and yet they are so divisive. Now, see, as a matter of fact, it has gotten so bad that nowadays we have the classic oxymoron of religious autocracies. Think about it. An oxymoron. It's cannot be, because the Creator gave us free will. Autocracies automatically place one group above the rule of law, and their will be imposed upon those wherever they create laws. They want an individual or a group is exempt. You cannot point your finger to them and says, you are disobeying the commandments. You know what a penalty would be. That's how autocracies work. And so a religious autocracy is an oxymoron. It simply cannot be. But that's how far we have gone with religion. On the other hand, so before I jump off that, one of the things that we are starting in 2023 is the recognition, of course, of God's omnipotence. This will show that we exist in the presence of the living, omnipresent, omnipotent God, which means that his commandments apply to each and every one of us today, not from 2,000 years ago, 500 years ago, today. And this brings us to the other part. So religions, we have to reawaken our leaders to recognizing that they must emphasize we all exist in the presence of the living God. And so this cult of personality that so many seem embroiled in, it seems to be the focus of their existence, really, to be that one who can issue new laws that contravene the commandments. But because of that cult of personality, many blindly follow them, as if accountability can be shared. We all get the message. We all can get the commandments. This is not in the day when someone had to walk around and tell us, this is the message. We all can receive it now. God has revealed the secrets of silicon. He has enabled so many of our devoted researchers of knowledge and revealed the secrets of nature that enable us to have computers, to have distributed systems, so that knowledge now in seconds, it's all over the world. And so on one hand, the religious doctrines are available to all of us. And as I've gone into detail in humanity's inflection point, that inflection point will only come when religions recognize the omnipotence of the living God. How so? By recognizing that all of science are revelations of that which has existed even before the dinosaurs. The periodic table of elements, which was granted to us in 1869 to the great scientist Dmitri Mendeleev, that is the foundation for most, if not all, the chemistry that goes into our technologies and medicines, which unites all of us. No one argues about. Matter of fact, it doesn't matter how religious you are. When you get sick, you head to the doctor. You get the medicines without realizing God's knowledge. He revealed to us. His revelations powered those medicines. And so you have people now who turn their back, and it's one of the craziest things. Just like we have religious autocracies, we have religions with leaders who say, let's go back. Let's go into the future by going back. It's impossible. We cannot go back. It is physically impossible. And so it's almost a state of madness. Those religions that say, let's try to live in the past. It can't be done. And additionally, what is happening is, maybe unbeknown to them, they are rejecting God's revelations to us that enlighten us, that make us better. So we have religions, and again, it could be ignorance, but we can start this. You who have stumbled upon this, or whether you chose to be here to hear this, we can enlighten them that all of the sciences are based on revelations from the Almighty God. All our sciences are manifestations of His omnipotence. We see it in nature, right? And I like to say that nature is God in a godless society. We accept that nature created the elephants. And when you think about an elephant trunk with over 5,000 muscles, and it can do, I mean, it's amazing, all of this. Nature. No, these are God's creations. And when we recognize the technology, the periodic table of elements, I always go back to that. Speak about it, recognize medicine, technology, the internal combustion engine, all our engineering, what we are finding out about plate tectonics, all the things around us, we have to recognize, yes, these things are being revealed to us so that we can be better. And so on one hand, we have to address, we start the change. Religious leaders recognizing these are revelations from God. The human race did not create the science and the elements that are used in our chemistry. They were already there and they were revealed to us. The secrets of them are being revealed. What we call the laws of nature, I call the rules of creation, are being revealed to us. And our science is rather primitive when you compare to His majesty. When we compare to His omnipotence, like I talk about, hibernation and metamorphosis and all these things that we see in plants and animals. That's His engineering. Billions, eons more advanced than ours. So on one hand, religion. On the other hand, we need scientists to recognize this statement of nature is a fallacy. Ask the question, what is nature? Who is nature? Where did nature get the intelligence to do this design? So we must, in 2023, initiate a process of challenging nature and the association of random with evolution. Because now we can recognize evolution is a process that is very analogous to our AI. We have cells, we have organisms that have certain parameters that says, but again, remember autonomy. It's not someone tweaking it. This is not someone standing over a robot and saying changes. No, you make the decisions. You have the ability, just like we have free will, they have free will. So we see that beautiful engineering where it tries this, try that. And so we have different mutations. We see this now. This is what the beginning, what we start in 2023. We initiate those changes. And yes, it has taken 2,000 years in some aspects for us to be where we are today. And it may take a while, but His revelations enable this message to go out across the world. And you can be that spark. You can be the one to spread this. You can be the ones to go out there and recognize when this touches you, you may take this way beyond. Because I believe in science. I'm a software engineer and I love science. And again, I think that's why I was fortunate to be given these inspirations, because I connect. I was not simply reading some theological book and saying, just following that. I question things. And so when these revelations and these inspirations started coming, I started, and eventually it took quite a few years for this, and this book, Humanity's Inflection Point, was a culmination. It's a third book, my first spiritual renewal, renewing our pact, where things just started coming to me. And then Understand, Improve Self and Society. Again, this is more things, but this was a culmination. This one tied the loop together to say science is from God. This is the inspiration that showed, and so now you have that information. You can question some more. You can dig further, and we can initiate this change that ultimately brings them both together. We recognize that the scriptures and the revelations of science came from the same source. One is so divisive, the other one has already united all of us. Now they have to get together. And that process, yes, it's going to be difficult, because we have that, they're in their own bunkers. One says, no, it's nature. The other one says, no, it's something else. But each and every one of us, we are free. We have free will. We can question. And in time, the knowledge will free us. Knowledge will lead us, just as it does with the sciences. It will unite us. And so it's not about, again, we are way past that time of, this is ours. I'm in the West, and so this only applies to me. Or I'm in the East, or I'm in the Middle East, or I'm in the South. This is universal. As we've seen, and we look at nature, the laws of nature, it's universal. It's for all of us. This is the revelation that binds all of us, as we see again with computers, phones, medicines. They unite all of us. And so it's not about getting rid of diversity. Diversity is His. As servants, we must honor that diversity. But there are threads that bind all of us, and we can be the ones that's in 2023 initiate those changes. We start the process of uniting people from all over the world, so that which is against His doctrines, His commandments, in time they will fall away. It is God's will. We do not need to be opposing anyone. It's about enlightenment. First, we change ourselves. We smile. We show love. We show caring. We have respect for every one of His creations. And that's how we initiate a change. We expect that as it is His will, many will be influenced and will see that what we are doing is right. It's by His will that we will move forward. But we need to do the work, because again, this is not robotic. He gave us autonomy, and it is His will that we move forward, that these revelations be made to us, that we become more enlightened. And the challenge is great. You look around, it's all about, and I will say it, the demons of deception, the demons of hate, the demons of greed. So many are controlled. They have given their will. They have given their will over to these demons, so that they are obsessed. And hate, greed, lust, deception, it's so much in them that it seems that they are actually possessed. It's all that they understand. Deception, hate, greed, lust, the sins that envelops them, makes them blind to any of the things that, like love and truth. They do not care about these things. But again, they are our brothers and sisters. And so we need to be immune from those demons. We need to be committed to a relationship with our Creator that makes us immune and makes us stronger in the face of, like I always pray, in adversity or in prosperity, that we stay strong to serve His will. We can be the ones that initiate these changes. We need to question the words and deeds of those whom we follow. It's like I've written in my Understand Improve, something I call the village principle. When we hear someone out there just blaring out things, we look at who is this? Is there evidence of their works? Because we know people just say things, and if you know someone is dishonest, why would you follow a dishonest person? Why? Why would you allow someone who is dishonest, who it's evident is possessed by or in the service of the demons of greed, to be your leader? Why? We do not get to a better place by going to places of darkness, where it's about that individual obsessed with themselves, obsessed with seeking personal enrichment or dividing us. We can be the ones to start that change of the global, again, the brotherhood of mankind, where in time, through our intuition, which is one of the gifts he's given us, we can feel those who are enlightened around us. We can feel the love like I have felt on my skin. You feel that beautiful love. It's a wonderful experience. We can be the ones who start that change, and it's up to each and every one of us. You can be that one who be that point of light that takes this to the next level. So I'd like to remind you that it's no coincidence that you encountered this message. And I want to thank you for taking the time. Once again, I am Sydney, and I am a servant of the Almighty God. And as always, I ask that God bless all of us on this journey. Thank you very much.